Hi, I'm Stefanie Newell, writing coach and developmental editor, and today we're going to answer your book marketing questions. This is Writing Support. So this first question comes from KY Brantley, and they ask how to market a self-published book. So this is the number one question for authors, and it really depends on what your goals are as an author. So is it sales? Is it visibility? And then once you get from there, you have to ask yourself, what marketing tactics are you willing to employ in order to make your book a success? So the first thing you want to do is look at your target audience. You want to choose 1 to 2 platforms where you can market your book, and then the goal is consistent messaging. And if you're at the stage where you want step-by-step guidance on strategies that actually work, I've written a guide, How to Market Your First Book, and it will be linked in the description box below. And of course, once you start marketing, this next question always comes up. And this question comes from No Push 9163. And they ask, authors, what's the hardest part about marketing your book after publishing? So many authors think that marketing stops when the book launches, when the truth is that's when the marketing really needs to ramp up. And the hardest part is being consistent. So finding those platforms that you're going to market your book on and consistently marketing your book, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be like sale, but also providing the value or having a conversation around the values of your book. So some authors want to know if they even have to promote at all. So this next question comes from Giant Dung Beetle, and they ask, does anyone just not promote their stuff? Yes, some people absolutely skip promotion, but the issue with skipping promotion is if you want to have consistent sales, you're going to have to promote your book even just a little bit. Even if you took just an hour a week, that would stimulate you getting some visibility outside of your current demographic. So yes, there are people that don't promote, but I can guarantee you that those people are also not getting consistent sales. And speaking of doing the bare minimum, there are some people that wonder if social media is even worth it at all. So this next question comes from Birdie Howdy, and they ask, is there a way to promote a book without investing a lot of time in social media? So yes, absolutely. There is a way to promote without being on social media. So there are Amazon ads, there's email lists, there's podcasts, and even local events like book clubs and book signings. And so if you have no interest in being on social media, you want to employ some of those other marketing tactics that are outside of social media in order to grow your audience. But social media isn't the only question. Money is another big issue. So this next question comes from Commercial Share 7480, and they ask, how much did you spend on marketing? Now, this is a really good question because the amount of money you spend is very dependent on the author and what their budget is. So there are some authors that spend $0, but on average, most authors spend between $100 and $500 to promote their book. Now, for those people that are very aggressive and they want a lot of visibility, some of those authors will spend up into the thousands for marketing. So the most important thing you want to do is start small and test. So essentially what that means is you want to try one tactic, see how that works, and if it works, continue to double down in that tactic. And if it doesn't work, can you figure out why it isn't working? Is it marketing message? Is it the audience? And then you continue to do that until you have marketing tactics that absolutely work for your book. And that leads to another side of the money question, not just how much, but how often. So this next question comes from Iterative Intention, and they ask, how much do you actually promote your books? So this is a great question. While you're writing your book, you'll be promoting your book sporadically, but then you have those key points, which is pre-launch, launch, and then post-drip marketing, which happens after your book has already been published. So you want to make sure that you're marketing consistently. And again, you make the choice on how much that is based on your budget, your schedule, and the tactics that you're using. But the whole goal is to consistently market your book, whether that's once or twice a week, but doing so consistently. So if you're wondering when to actually start promoting your book, that's where this next question comes in. And this question comes from MU Addict 071537. And they ask, should I be promoting my book on social media? If so, when should I start? So ideally, you want to start promoting your book on social media before your book is out. The goal is to build anticipation and to share the process. And doing this will allow you to discover your target audience and what types of content resonates with them and makes them respond. And if you are already a published author and you haven't started, it's not too late. You can start as early as today. And finally, let's zoom out. So this next question, which is a really good question, Random Thought 7755 4 asks, what are the basic steps for marketing your book before officially publishing? So those basic steps are going to include knowing what your meta keywords are, the categories that you're going to attach to your book, having a good description for your book, as well as an engaging book cover that attracts your target audience. Next, you want to build a small email list, and you want to have at least one marketing channel ready. So that could be your social media, your ads, or PR outreach. You want to have at least one ready to go at launch. So those are some of the biggest marketing questions that authors ask. In my next video, I'm going to address the biggest questions around Amazon KDP.